IBOs. You've been to a few conferences, seminars, and all of that. And as you know, things have changed a lot. So what we wanted to do was to restart your business and get you, relaunched into the new way of doing things. And so what I have here is just a little presentation. Now I'm going to be throwing a lot at you. Don't worry, I'm going to send you the slides.
Okay.
And when we first saw it, we had to see it like about 5 times before we got used to it, and we're not just going to throw this at you and then just leave you alone. We're actually going to pair off with you, and hold your hand and take you through the process with us. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So and I'll show you who's going to be working with who. Apparently, the 2 people I'm going to be working with are not here, but I'm going to have to whip them up or something. I don't know. Is Garen still trying to get on?
I think so. Hold on. I think he's going to try a different device.
Is he using the Apple device? Because that might be the problem.
No, he has an Android.
Okay.
And he's going to try it on a tablet right now.
Okay. All right. Well, we have the first part recorded, so he should be okay.
Okay.
All right.
Unless you could try to send this email an invite one more time. It might just pop up.
Yeah, I didn't he copy the WhatsApp thing?
Yeah, he tried that, but it said couldn't join call.
I wonder why. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me try and sending it to him one last time.
All right.
Garen. I wonder which email he's using.
Let me ask him.
Garen McIntosh at gmail.com.
That should be the one. Double check. That should be the one.
Yeah, all right. I'm sending it to him manually. All right, tell him I sent it to him.
All right.
All right. So while he's doing that, let me just continue with this because our time is short. Okay. And I got
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So just a few notes, a few comments about the process. Okay. The process is divided into 2 parts. There's the mindset and then there's a framework. You're going to hear these terms over and over and over. Right? The mindset has to do with, are you hungry? Are you appreciative? Are you smart? And are you humble? Okay? And the people who you have coming into the business, you want them to be that way too. Okay? And so there's a mindset, an attitude. Okay, and then the next thing is the framework. The framework is a step of steps, stages. Think about when you're on a highway, you have the guardrails. Okay, so it's flexible enough that you don't run off the highway. So the framework is, what are the steps and what should you do in each step and why are you doing it? Well, why you're doing it is the mindset, right? So, but you don't want to be rigid. You want to use your common sense, be flexible enough, and have enough judgment or discernment. Okay. And you're going to hear these over and over in all the different streams. There's a lot of new streams on BWW TV videos. Don't be too rigid. It's not about disqualifying people, okay? And don't be too legalistic. This guy sneezed, so I cut him, Yeah. Don't be like that, okay? And then each stage is very important. You can't skip anything. if you skip the first phase or the first step, you know, it would affect all the other steps. So everything is just all one thing, but it's divided into 7 parts. And then, so you want to be pleasant, you want to be caring, you want to be professional. Okay, a lot. Now, don't think you're going to be relearning everything. Okay, it's just that now it's more structured.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing somebody. Okay, and of course, the important thing, the reason why it's gone from 4 steps to 7 steps is because we want to make sure that we have enough connection and there's enough posture. You know, and I actually tell people we slow it down on purpose because what we want to do is, out of respect to you, make sure that this is a match for you and that we're not wasting your time and you're not wasting my time. And I asked them, are you patient enough to go through 7 steps? And they say, absolutely. And those who say no, why don't you tell me what it is now? I'm like, nice to meet you. Okay, because if somebody's not patient enough and doesn't have the mutual respect, then, you know, if you can't if you can't work with them now, then after they launch, you can forget about it, right? And then and so we're going for quality rather than quantity. I would much rather run with one person than have to drag 100. Agreed?
Agreed. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so we slow it down in order to speed up. At the Amway Expo in Atlanta that we had during the summer, they actually showed us the statistics of the groups that are using the process and the groups that are not using the process. The ones that were not using the process, they had a lot of signups, but very little retention. And the groups that were using the process, they had a lot less signups, but a lot more retention, and their volume was skyrocketing. Okay, and so it's about retention. Anybody can sign up, you know, but can you be effective? Can you be viable? Can you be profitable? And so the way to do that is to slow it down, so that in the long run you have quality and quantity. But the quantity takes a while. You got to first get the quality. Okay, so first quality and then quantity. Okay, so we no longer are selling. What we're doing is buying. When you go to the grocery store and you want to pick up a couple apples, you don't pick up all the apples. You look at them, you feel them, you see if they're good, and then you pick up a couple of the best that you think are the best. Same thing here. Okay, we're not looking to sign up 200 people in 1 month. We're only looking for the creme de la creme, the top of the top shelf, the Don Datas. Okay. All right. And so we are more focused on the output rather than being process driven. Okay. What does that mean? It means that we don't care what we have to do. We're going to do whatever we have to do. If we have to shovel manure with our bare hands, we'll do it. That's our attitude, right? And of course, understand there's no perfect process, because a process has human beings. Okay. And so you're still going to have 1/3 of the people who are going to be green lights, and you're going to have to try and keep up with them. Then you're going to have the yellow lights who kind of, you know, one day they're in, one day they're out. And then the red lights, you don't know if they went to Mars, the moon, or Venus. You just don't know. Okay. All right. So that is a snapshot of some of the general comments. Rod, do you have any other comments you want to add here?
Nope, I think that's good.
Okay. Is Roderick on?
No, not yet. I did send him a text too.
Hold on a minute. I know they haven't been having electricity and all that stuff. Did you call him? Let me call him.
All right.
Hold on, guys. Let me. It's important that Roderick is here for this.
All right.
All right. So what I'm going to be doing while I'm calling him is we're going to look at the old process versus the new process and explain to you how it's slowed down and exactly what's happening. Let me warn you from now, there are a lot of new acronyms. You know, before we had STP and follow up and get started correctly. Okay, now we have a whole bunch of new acronyms. Don't worry, you will get used to it. You will get used to it. You know what they say, you never learn anything, you just get used to it. Okay, so this is the case here. Now you remember in the old process we had, what were the 4 steps? Build your list, invite,
show
the plan, follow up, follow through, get started correctly. Right? Now we have 7 steps. Okay, so I'm going to show you the difference here. Before we had contact, like contact and put the person on your list. Now we're going to share our story and we're going to drop the message. Share my story is SMS, and drop the message is where you're going to drop your message, right? So it's these 2 things here, share my story and drop the message. These are all the acronyms. Okay? It's a little different. It's a lot different, actually. It's very good. This is all good news. And then your invite is invite. You're going to call them and invite them. And then the show the plan. You see, what would happen in the past? You guys must have remembered this. You meet somebody, and in an hour or 45 minutes, you try and tell them every single thing you know about the business. And by the end of the 45 minutes or 50 minutes, the person is like, oh my gosh, how do I get away? I never want to see this person again in my life. Because after the first 5-10 minutes, they don't understand anything.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So what we did is we took the STP and we broke it into 4 separate meetings. The first meeting is MG1. That's where we meet and we greet. We don't carry anything with us. We don't talk about business. We just ask them a few questions. We have a conversation and we connect with them. That could run anywhere between 20 minutes to an hour. I've had one that ran 1.5 hours, but that's unusual. Okay, Camter, he likes to do half an hour, no more than half an hour. Okay, and then after that, then we have our second meeting, and in that meeting, it's meet and greet 2. That's where we give them an overview of the business. Or at the end of MG1, we give them a book to read. See, instead of us, you see, when you try and ram everything down somebody's throat, when you try and do that, they're not going to accept it. So the best thing is self-realization. And self-realization is where you let them realize themselves. So we use the book called Business of the 21st Century, and we let them realize it for themselves. So when they come to us, they are telling us about the concepts we're talking about. I had one guy, I said, listen, take this book, take notes, okay, and then we'll talk about it at our next meeting, meet and greet 2. He came there and he marked up my book, man, in about 6 different colors. And I was like, I didn't want you to make the notes in the book. But he sat down there for half an hour and he basically showed me the plan. So he was sold, but he sold himself. Do you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then after that, we take them to a board plan. A board plan 1, BP1, that could be a one-on-one, like a traditional STP, or it could be at a home meeting, or most likely it's going to be an open meeting. But we don't call it open meeting anymore. We call it information session. We don't call them prospects anymore. We call them candidates, because this is a 7-step.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is a 7-step process, process where we are evaluating them and also building a friendship. Slow it down so you can go faster. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. After the board plan 1, then we have a follow-up. We have 2 follow-ups now. One follow-up is to make sure that what they've seen, they understand. And the follow-up 1, we're going to tell them about the time commitment. What all does it take? In follow-up 2, after they've seen the open meeting plan, the information session again, we talk about the money, the money commitment, the investment. Every business needs an investment. And all along these steps, we're looking for red flags. Now, you got to understand, you yourself have red flags. But okay, and your goal is not to disqualify people. Your goal is to either educate them or to educate them and to qualify them. Okay, So and I tell people all the time, this is a 7-step process. At any time you could walk away. You know, and during the MP1, BP1 and follow-up 1 and BP2 and follow-up 2, we give them streams, because you know we now have streams, we can send them electronically.
Yeah.
And soon we're gonna have videos. Wow. Oh.
Hey, Kenneth, are they supposed to be seeing a slide? Or no, not yet?
Oh, did not see the slide?
No.
No.
You kidding me?
I thought.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought you were just explaining it before you went to the slide.
Oh no.
That's fine.
Oh no, no, no. Minus 10 points for me.
No, you good, man.
All right, there you go.
Oh boy, oh boy. All right. So this is the contact. These are the acronyms. So I share my story on DTM. This is the invite. Everybody seeing it?
Mm.
This is the FTP. It's broken up into MG1, MG2, BP1, and BP2. And then follow-up 1 and follow-up 2. Everybody sees it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you guys these slides anyway.
Okay.
Now, this is the pre-launch. This doesn't concern you really, but it does, because you're going to be putting your candidates through it. But then there's a post-launch, and that post-launch for seasoned IBOs is a reboot or a relaunch or a rewind, you know, okay? And then the get started correctly, that was a mess before. I'm going to tell you the truth, it was a mess. It was a mess because we just had an upline checklist and everybody did what they wanted to do. But now we have it very structured. They get an offer call, we launch them, which is very specific. There's phase A, there's a 30-day core run. There's phase B, there's a 90-day core run. There's phase C and phase D.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Very, very nice. Remember, I spent 32 years in corporate America, and I can tell you when a process is good and when it isn't. And I'm telling you that this here works.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love it. I absolutely love it. Slow it down, put the proper posture, be compassionate, be kind, try and help people whether or not they join you, you know, be professional. I love it. You know, but don't be too rigid. Don't be too legalistic. You know, I love it. I just totally love from the first time I saw it, ask Rod, you know, when we were in North Carolina there, ask him, you know, everybody was like, oh, this is going to slow it down. This is, da, da, da. I was like, no, 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 this is what we need. I love it. I'm trying to tell you, I'm in love with it. Maybe you don't share my passion, but I'm just sharing.
Oh yeah, we love it too. Well, I love it.
It's more defined. It's mindset focus. The framework itself is the posture, and it's more defined startup steps. Any comments or questions? I know I'm doing all the talking. You know, I want you guys to talk too. Christina, you like it?
Yeah, I feel like I like the structure. I'm very organized, so I like the structure of it all. It feels more, you know, coherent.
Yeah. How people went diamond before, I don't know anyway. Shaibu?
Yeah, I'm right here. I like it. Like you said, it looks so more detailed and professional. And you know, our goal is just to make people believe that what we're doing is genuine. And I think this new structure entails everything that we needed. It's just a matter of learning it and understanding it.
It's very easy. If you guys have gone to school, you could learn this in 1 month easily.
Yeah.
Ali, what you think?
I love it as well. I think it's a really good way for us to have structure, to know what we're doing at all times. So,
Garen, you're here with us.
Yeah, man.
Where did you come in?
And I've been trying to get my You can put that screen back up though. Yeah, I've been trying to get my computer working. This is Lemon I got right now.
Okay. But I know, but did you hear it from the beginning, or what did you hear?
Oh, I didn't hear from the beginning.
Okay.
I trying to figure out what the phase A, B, and C and D is.
I'm gonna go through that now.
All right.
I'm gonna go through that now. Basically, on the top part here is the old way we used to do it, and it was very, very vague, you know. And then down here, we've replaced it with this process that's a lot slower on purpose. Because whoever you launch, if they have red flags, you know, like they don't have enough time or they don't have the finances straight and everything, those are red flags. Those red flags don't belong to them. Those red flags are going to belong to you because you launched them. Okay, it's like you have it's like the rocket that exploded, the Russian rocket that exploded earlier this week. You know, there were red flags and somebody missed it, and so it launched, but it didn't reach the International Space Station. Okay, and so the purpose here is not for you to be judgmental, but you got to really ask yourself: is this person viable? Is this somebody who I could work with and make them successful? You know, hashtag: are they humble? Are they appreciative? Are they smart? Not book smart, but smart enough to know what they're doing is not what they want, you know, and are they humble? Humble and hungry, right? Okay, you got it?
Yeah, man.
All right. So let's move on. So there are two processes. There's a process before you launch and a process after you launch. So I'm going to talk about the pre-process, and then I'm going to talk about the post-process. The post-process is what you guys are going to be going through. That's the relaunch for you. Okay. All right. So first thing, the ST, sharing my story and dropping a message. The purpose of that is to have an initial connection. You know, let me give you an example. You know, so I'm going to give you an example. You know, so we have 5 levels of conversation. We have all these streams. Everything is so new. Everything is so spanking new and fresh and so professional. You know, it really is. You're gonna love it. You know, and so I meet this guy. Hey, how you doing? I met a guy in the supermarket today. You know, and he actually said to me, "Where you from?" I said, "Well, I'm from Jamaica, but I've lived all over the world." And we started to talk and all of that sort of stuff. And then he started to talk about his work and all of that stuff. And then I talked about my work. And then I said to him, "You know what? You know, because both of us were in software development, you know, and then I said to him, you know what? I got sick and tired of sitting behind the desk and taking orders from somebody who I know that was smarter." You know, so what I did is I met another engineer, and he was on the verge of retiring. And so my wife and I, we gained his trust, and we built a friendship, and we gained we qualified to be a business partner. And now I'm retired, and he and I and both of our wives are building a business together. I do 100% entrepreneurship. He's like, "Wow, that's exactly what I want." So I shared the story, you know, and I shared my story, and then I dropped the message, you know, and then during the drop the message, I'm like, "Look, I can't promise you anything. I can introduce you to my mentor, you know, but before us to do that, we first need to sit down and get to know each other better." And okay, here's my number, email, social security, everything. This is a big guy, you know. This is a guy in his 30s, 40s, or whatever, you know. And I just did that, you know. And then so we exchanged information. I told him, "I can't promise you anything. I may be able to open the door for you to meet them." So that's the posture there, you know. And he was hungry, and he was appreciative, and he was very smart because he knew that the path he was on is not the future for him. And he was hungry and humble. He wasn't cocky. "Oh, I know this language and that language." So he was hashtag or hash. You know, I don't like to say hash because that's a drug, so I just say hashtag. Okay. But some people say hash, but I think it's because they don't know. But I know better, you know. Anyway, so meet and greet, and so after that, I contacted him today. So within 72 hours, I'm going to reach back out to him, and I'm going to say, "Hey, Orlando," that's his name. I'm going to say, hey, Orlando, how you doing? This is Kenneth. We met at Publix. Oh, yeah. I said, listen, like I said, I'd like to introduce you to my mentor. But before that, we need to sit down, get to know each other, and make sure it's a match. That way, I'm not wasting your time. Oh, yeah. Okay, so when is a good time? And there's a Starbucks close to where we met, in Eagles Land. And so I'm going to go and meet him. And I'm going to continue to build the trust, spark a friendship, and see if he has the right mindset. There are some questions that we're going to ask. Now, here is where it's wonderful. Because when you first join the business, we're going to tell you exactly what the questions are. That's where you're going to start. Think of it as when you went to get your driver's license. When you went to get your driver's license, you put one hand at 10 o'clock, one hand at 2 o'clock. You adjusted the mirror. You never went over the speed limit when you're taking the exam, okay? And you used the indicator. You looked in the side mirror, the rear. You did everything according to the book. But as soon as you got your license, it was one hand driving, the next hand have the phone, and you're still driving, right? It's the same thing here. So we're going to start you off certified in terms of exactly what to say. And then quickly, you're going to either Garonize it or alaize it or crystallize it. There you go. A shabby eyes. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have streams, we have documentation, everything. So you start at the same point. You don't stray from it because it's the framework, but you put your own personality into it. And we give them the book of the 21st century to read. Now, one of the things that we got to do is we got to get this book to all of you guys. That's part of your relaunch. Part of your relaunch is to read this book. Has anybody read it?
I have.
Yep, I do.
Okay. Okay, so who said yes?
Me and Shaban.
Okay, all right. So I need you to read it again. Our Diamond, Sanjeev Sahai, says you should read it 10 times.
Okay.
I've read it 4 times. So I plan to read it again. All right. And then we set up from that meeting, you book a meeting from a meeting, and we meet with them again. We go over the book, and then we show them high-level plan, and then we prepare them to meet our mentors.
Mentors.
Right. Understanding MG1 is when I'm setting up the board plan 1. I'm not setting up the board plan 1 in MG2. I'm setting that up in MG1. I said there are 2 meetings we need to have from here on out. At the end of MG1, I'm saying there are 2 meetings we have to. I need to give you a high-level overview. I need to know what it is you got out of the book, and then I need to and if that goes well, I want you to meet my mentor. Because at that point, you're now fully prepared to meet with him because that's the level that he talks at. You understand? So do you see where each step joins the other step?
Mm-hmm.
And then at MG2, this is when I'm setting up the follow-up one. Because now, I'm every meeting I'm setting up 2 meetings in advance. And this is how you have high retention. At MG2, after I've gone over the high-level overview of the business, and I've talked about the the meeting, how to dress, when to come, what to expect, and all of that stuff. I'm saying, listen, when we get there, there's going to be a lot of activity. We're not going to have time to set up stuff. So what I want to do is I want to set up our follow-up. The reason why we're going to have a follow-up is because I'm going to have questions and concerns, and plus I need to ask you a few things, and I got to show you what the time commitment is. I don't want to set that up when we're at the hotel. What I want to do is to set that up before. So when I meet with them, the meeting is over. I don't rush up to them and say, does it make sense? You see, I'm not chasing anybody. They come to me. And then when they come to me, I give them the lit pack. I give them the lit pack. I make sure that they meet Kamka Nadia and some of the other leaders. This is a little bit outdated. It's not 6 share talks we give them 2. One of them is Ron Pereira's Ideal Business. The other one is by Dan Ewan, which is Objections. Okay. And then we may give them the book Compound Effect, if they finish the other book, or we may give them Household Goals. I don't have that on this slide. Okay. And then at the follow-up, which was booked already in the MG2, okay, we build more reports, always building more. We talk about the share talks. I address any red flags I may see. Incidentally, you address red flags all the time, but I'm not looking to judge anybody. It's if there's major concerns. There might be yellow flags that I leave alone. And then I need to know whether or not if they have any questions. Before that, I'm not worried about if they have questions. I tell them now is not the time. And then I want to know, do you know the difference between Amway and BWW? And then I talk about the post. I talk about the partnership, what's expected of them, and I talk about the post launch. Okay, and then I prepare them to meet again at I prepare the 2 meetings after that. One meeting I'm going to prepare is for them to meet, is to come back and see the plan again. Why do they need to see the plan a second time? If they've seen it once, why do they need to see it a second time? Because now they've been exposed to the compound effect. This is the 21st century. They've listened to 2 streams. Okay, and actually there's a 3rd stream you give them at the BP1. You know, that's the stream you give them is that one by BW. What's his name?
Bill Britt.
No, BW.
JW King.
No. It's the one about oh, I know which one it is. I have his face in my mind. It's the stream that we give them here. Hold on, let me look it up. The stream that we give them is has to do. Is this making sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not too much, is it?
Not really. Just need to give it time, go over it, and out of it.
Yeah, the stream that we give them is Greg Duncan, financial stability, and maybe we give them a Bill Britt, you know. And so the reason why they need to see it a second time is because we need them to take a second look. Nobody understands the business plan the first time. Very, very, very few people. I didn't, you know. And then I book the board plan too, and they get to reconnect. We give them more streams. At that point, we're going to give them Kevin Bell's preparing for partnership, and then we give them some success. You know, maybe a Kumar success. You know, and maybe another Bill Britt. And then the final meeting that they have in the process is going to be the follow-up 2. In follow-up one, I wanted to know. In follow-up 1, I wanted to know the time commitment. In follow-up 2, I need to know, do they have the funds? Because we lay out for them what the time commitment is. You know, we lay out for them what the time commitment is. I'm going to share that with you guys. I'm not going to do it now because we can't do everything now, okay? But we want to know the money commitment on a monthly, on an annual, on a weekly basis, BBS, everything. And then we tell them, okay, at this point, what we do is that we then call Campton Nadia and say, you know, we think that this person is a go. Different groups do it differently. In the Gala group, at least in Shahai, at the follow-up 2, we give the offer call. In other groups, they say, you know, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes if I'm a bit iffy, I give them the time commitment and the money commitment, and I tell them, go and think about this for a few days. You know, and then I might huddle with Campton and say, you know, I'm not too sure. You know, and then Campton says, okay, we'll meet with him again and adjust these questions and then call. So it's conditional, okay? If you're pretty sure, like I have a guy, his name is Trey, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a match. I'm going to call him at the follow-up 2. I'm going to call Campton Nadia. But I will call Campton Nadia before I go to the follow-up 2. I say, Campton, I'm going to meet with such and such. And I tell Campton a little bit about him, you know, and I say, Campton, if he can make the money commitment, you know, the investment, return on investment, right? I put $10 in, 3 months later, I get $2,000. That's a return on investment, okay? And so we don't want to break their pockets if they can't afford it, you know, customer sales and whatnot, okay? Make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so let's get to you guys now. So that's what you're going to be doing with your candidates. Let's talk about once you have launched. Once you've launched, you get the offer call. This does not pertain to you because you guys have gotten it, okay? So what you guys are going to be going into now is phase A. This is where you guys are. I'm going to expound on this, okay? We're going to launch you. which has a lot to do with the upline checklist. Okay, I'm going to show you what all that is. We need to do a zero-based budget with you, right? We need to get your ticket for the first function. You guys have all done that already. But we need to get you back, you know. There's a BBS coming next month. And then we're going to want to set up your ditto. Now, setting up your ditto, everybody, listen, this new process actually crashed the Amway website because now all of the mega groups are doing first day ditto. And there's so much traffic, so much orders that it crashed their system.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we do first day ditto. Now some people can afford to do 150. You know, there's a standard of excellence we have. We want everybody, couple or single, to do 300 TV. But you cannot, most people can't do that on the go at the first time, okay? So what we're gonna do is work with you. If you can only afford 10 PV, let's set it up for 10 PV ditto. You understand? And then we grow it.
Okay.
You got it? So don't worry, you know, we work with people, right? And then we're gonna put you through what we call a 30-day core run. Okay?
Okay.
And that's gonna be, we're gonna develop your 150 at the end of the 30-day core run. We're gonna give you specific streams to listen to, specific book to read. You're gonna learn how to drop your message. We're gonna huddle and play all the time. Okay, and we're gonna be doing the process and showing it to you. Remember the 5 levels of lead duplication. Hold on, let me mute whoever is making noise. Who's making noise? Yeah, but what happens is when I hear the noise, I start to talk louder. You know, and they're like, "Why is he shouting?" You know. All right. Okay. So we're gonna set that up, okay, and then we're gonna put you through a 30-day core run. Okay, and we have a log, everything to do this. Everything is organized and structured. All right, and then this is gonna create your success habits, and this is what your candidates will also go through when they launch and become business partners. We don't call them upline, downline IBOs anymore. It's business partners. Okay, and then phase B is where you're gonna honor the partnership. Now, honor the partnership is very important because that's part of the new Eagle structure. Another partnership means that you're doing the process yourself, you're doing all the reading, you're on the stream, you're on all the BWW tools, okay, and you're doing your monthly ditto. You know, everything is you're a part of the 100% club. You know, you're fully core, okay, and then and then after that, then we'll put you through a 90-day core run. And this is like a stronger 30-day core run where you're actually dropping the message, you're sharing your story and you're getting results. And you're actually get to phase B where you're actually having 5 MDs a week and you're launching 1 to 2 people a month. See, before we wanted to launch 10 people a month, but about 8 of those were not suitable. They weren't compatible. So now with this process, we're only launching the best of the best. And I'm telling you, it is compound explosive growth. Okay. And then and then that's when you go Eagle Plus, Ruby. Ruby is about $250,000. You know, and you can do that within a year or 2. Okay. As long as you follow the process. Right. And then of course, then you get to phase B where everything explodes. All right. So, okay, everybody can unmute now. Because I need input. This is the last slide.
Okay.
All right. So this is the launch. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you guys have the offer call already. What we want to do is we're going to split up into subgroups. Okay. And so we're going to work on your initial budget, which is your zero-based budget. Okay, so Rod is gonna work with 2 of you. Roderick is gonna work with another 2, and I'm gonna work with another 2. Okay, we're gonna go at your pace. Okay, so don't think that you're being pushed down some whatever. Okay, and then once we're doing that, we're gonna also work on your list. You know, There might be some people there who you missed or need to be rechecked. And then we're gonna work with you to get candidates in the process. I mean, you guys stayed in the business because you want to make money, right? Right. So this new process is streamlined and is proven to be very, very successful. Now understand we're slowing it down. Okay, we're slowing it down so that you could speed up later. Within 2 to 3 months, you should start to see results, but not in the first 1 or 2 months. Okay, so I'm talking January, February, March. All right, and then we wanna discuss the products. You know, get you on Ditto. We need to get some Ditto streams, one-on-one sales. Don't wait for everybody to have a combined product meeting. Okay, some of the stuff is still the same. Spa Cafe, Health Clinic, grand opening. Okay, and I know some of you have done this before, and there are a lot of new products, so that's why we still have product samples. And then we need to get you on the tools. And this is changing up, by the way, because BWW, IBO web space, the BWW TV, and the streaming, and all of that is changed. You know, this doesn't have book in it. Wow. Okay, you know, so a lot of stuff has changed. Okay, and then of course we want to get you guys back into, well, some of you have been doing it anyway. You know, you guys come to PACE and all of that stuff, and you go, you know, get you back into the informational session. You know, the reason why you want to go to the information session now is because you have candidates coming, and the information session is using the new process. Okay. And so Roderick is going to be working with Ali and Christina, Rod with Shaibu and Adam, and I'm going to be working with Garen and Beatty. Does anybody have any problems with Rod?
I do.
Is everybody okay with these sub teams? Ali, Christina, you're good?
Yeah.
Shaibu? Shaibu? Is he still here? Shaibu? Mr. Tambo?
Hello?
Shai? Hi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was asking a question.
Oh, you were on mute.
Oh, I was just talking. I could hear you saying Shai, but I'll just keep talking.
What's the question?
Yeah, I was saying, with this new process, you said you're supposed to meet the person twice, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
more
I'm
than
saying
twice. More than twice. You meet with them 7 times.
Oh, okay. So you meet the person 1 or 2 times, and then
no, 7 times.
Yeah, like I'm asking a question. You meet that person like 2 times, and then that person is interested, but probably don't have the time to meet you for the subsequent time. I mean, subsequent follow up. Can you go ahead and then you know, share with him the streams and then the other necessary documents you're supposed to let him know about the business? Or
no,
that would be a red flag.
That's a red flag. If the person doesn't have the time to meet with you a second time, how are they going to have time to build a business?
Okay. Yeah, I'm asking that because probably that person job schedules, you know, busy person.
See, there's no such thing as a busy person. Everybody is busy. I can get busy watching Netflix all day long. I'm busy. You know, Andrea says, Kenneth, come and go and fix such and such. I'm busy. I'm watching Netflix.
Yeah.
It's a matter of priority. So if the person is telling you that they're busy, oh, I'm doing my PhD, I'm busy, I can't do that, then why am I wasting my time talking with you?
Okay.
I wish you the best in your dissertation.
Okay.
You know, and I will see you on the beaches of the world. This is the pastor, Shaibu.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Always go back to the supermarket analogy. If you're going to go on, let me bring it home for you. If you're going to go to the grocery store to get some plantain, you are going to go, or some yam or whatever, you know, and you want to get plantain, you're going to look for the best plantain.
Exactly.
If it's not good plantain, I'm not getting it. Same thing here. I may talk to 10 people today. but I may only drop the message with 2 of them, and I might actually end up meeting with 1 of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Don't be in a hurry to sign up a lot of people. Don't. Yeah, and also don't be in a hurry. Don't have the attitude, the arrogant. I know you don't. I'm talking general now. Don't have the arrogant attitude that I'm going to cut this person because he sneezed,
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I don't like his accent or whatever,
Yeah.
So are you okay with this with these assignments?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Just I'll appreciate if you can send it to me. Then I'll go over it tonight and I'll get used to it.
Yeah, well, Rod is going to work with you.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Rod is going to call you and he's going to work with you in all of these boxes up here. He's going to work with you on all of this stuff.
Okay.
Okay. There's one other thing we need to add. We don't have book up here. Okay. We have BSM, we have BMP. By the way, BMP, IBO Web Space, and BWWTV are all going to be in one new tool. It's called BSM Extreme. So all of that is going to go away. But the book, I don't know why the book isn't there. Anyway. So here are the next steps. Roderick is going to get with Ali and Christina. Rod is going to get with Shaibu and Adama. And I'm going to get with Garen and Beatty. And we're going to schedule and conduct your zero-based budget. It's going to be 2 meetings. One meeting is a general overview. What is the zero-based budget? Why do we need it? And then the next, and we go through an example. The second meeting is going to be actual, where you go away and you enter your actuals. And then we're also going to, we also need to, I didn't put it in here, but we need to have a look at your calendar. You guys keep a calendar?
Yep.
Huh? Ali, Christina, you guys keep a calendar?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to need to look at the calendar so that we could know when it is that we could be working with you. That way we're not bombarded you when you're busy or when you're working. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a respect thing, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't put it in here. I need to put it in here. And then we're going to redo your list so that way you know exactly when we're going to meet, and then we're going to conduct candidate meetings for you.
Okay.
And we're gonna help you with the product events, and then we're gonna get you on a 30-day core run. Our goal is to get you on the 30-day core run as soon as we can. As soon as we can get you on the 30-day core run, we can get you honoring the partnership. As soon as you honor the partnership, that's when you're gonna start making money.
No, thank you.
And that's it.
Awesome.
Rod, do you have anything, Rod?
No, I think that was pretty straightforward. Just
yeah, the only thing I'd be worried about, Rod, is that Ali was kind of hesitant when I asked you if it's okay for you to work with him. That's the only thing. He was a little bit. He hesitated for a little while. You may need to catch a plane and go down there and straighten a few things out. Tell Christina to hold him down.
Good, man.
Yeah, but everything.
Any closing comments from anybody? Garen, what you think?
Solid, man, Calvin. Solid.
Okay.
Yes. So, sorry, but I just eating, you see.
Huh?
I say sorry, but the mouthful I was just eating,
Okay, but did it make sense to you?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna WhatsApp you to set up a meeting. Okay.
All right. When you want me to send you the calendar and what's not,
So as soon as possible. Send it to me as soon as possible.
All right.
And Rod, Ali and Christina, Rod is gonna call you guys.
Okay.
And then Shaibu.
Yeah.
Roderick obviously has some sort of hurricane thingy going on. So he's reach out to him.
Yeah.
He knows everything about the process. Rod and Roderick know everything about the process. Everything. There's nothing that nothing I know that they don't know. In fact, quite frankly, I think Rod and Roderick could have explained this better than me. Why are you laughing? Who laughing? No, they could. Who laughing? Is that Ali?
No, that's me. Yeah, I'm
All
laughing.
right.
I'm laughing because the whole process, Rodrigo was just holding his jaws and listening. I was like, yeah, he know what he's talking about.
Oh.
All right, we've taken up enough of your time.
Uh-huh.
Rod is gonna get a hold of you guys, Roderick, and Garen, I'm gonna WhatsApp you now, okay?
All right, Kenneth.
All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Okay,
I
bye.
appreciate it.
Have a great night.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Bless up, people.
Bye.
Bless up.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Kenneth.